Now it's time to make our tessellation drawing. Now, you're going to be using a very large piece of paper because your little tessellation piece is going to be significantly bigger. But what you got to do is you're going to start this guy out, and you're going to decide first which angle you like your tessellation at first. For whatever reason. I actually do like the way it was before. And you have to decide which direction, and you can't switch your direction once you decide on your direction. So you might actually need to write on there, this is up. And the direction you're tracing it. That way you remember. So you know the paper is in this direction, not this direction, so up. But then also you know which way is up, which way you want it to face. And then you're going to line it up so that one point of that side is touching the edge of your paper, and the other point at that side is touching your paper. And then very carefully trace the sky. Now, as you are tracing, some things are going to happen. There's always a good chance that your pencil will go underneath. Or, it might move a little bit. If it moves a little bit, do your best to put it back where it was and then begin tracing. Also, because of these things may happen, it's very important that you draw nice and light and not carve into your paper. That way you can still erase if you need to. See, it just went under there. So I'm just going to fix that, okay? All right. You can trace around your entire shape. This is going to take time, kids, but it's super worth it. Don't give up. Just do your best. All right, now that I got him traced, now I get to see if my tessellation works. And so what I'm going to do is I can move it in this direction, and it'll lock right in. Or I can move it down, and it'll lock right in. Or I can move it right in front, and it'll lock right in. So that is how you know you did it correctly. And why it's so important when you're tracing to trace very carefully in case the tessellation moves or the pencil goes where it's not supposed to. All right, now your goal is to fill this whole thing with your tessellation piece. Now, when you're doing that, you got to make sure they are locked in tight together. Don't just leave a space like that or a space like this. Don't be careless. Have some good craftsmanship about you. So make sure you line it up really good. And then trace the rest of it. The first shape was the hardest because you had to go all the way around. But now, because this was already traced, now I just have to do this part. So 3 sides. So it's not that bad. And you're just going to do this till you fill the whole page. Let's get started. If you're finding while you're tracing that maybe your little pieces like this are a little too difficult for you to trace and you're feeling frustrated, it is totally okay to get out another 3x3 square and make another one using the method we used at the beginning of this video. And then just, do a more chill line than this crazy one. That's totally fine. You should enjoy yourself when you're making your tessellation and not be suffering. So, I'm having kind of a hard time with that. So, I could totally restart, but I'm going to push through and do my best. But if you need to, it's totally fine to just make another one and try again. All right. Don't forget the parts on the sides as well. They're a lot easier to trace because they're right there, but don't forget them. Otherwise it'll get really weird later. You'll see why. And then make sure you get the ones on top and below too, if that's applicable. Alright, now I got my entire tessellation filled up. Now it's time for the fun part. We get to decide what we think this shape looks like. And if you're like, actually this part isn't working for me, maybe I turn it around. Maybe it looks like something else. I think it kind of looks like a gargoyle from here. Or if I turn it this way, it kind of looks like a horse poking its head out of some water. I don't know. And from here, it looks like a really cool fish, and from this direction, the original direction, it kind of looks like a dragon. So then I'm going to go in and I'm just going to draw the little details that make this guy look extra dragony. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And just go from there. And you're going to do that for every little piece, doing your best to keep it consistent, but you can make little changes, like maybe in this one his eye looks like this and his eyebrows over here, but this guy, his eyes looking over here and his eyebrows over here. Or maybe this guy has sharp teeth, but this guy is like sticking out his tongue. But the point is, you want to still keep it about like the same character. He's looking more bird-like these days, so I don't know. Anyway, just play with it. And if you're not ready to do that yet, you can always trace it in your sketchbook again and then just try some different ideas. Like maybe from this direction, it just looks like a nose. And his mouth. It's like a weird, we'll just say he's a fish. Weird little fish dude. Okay? So just play around with it. See what happens. Okay. And then when you're done filling in all your details, it's time to color or paint it. But you just spent all this time tracing a bunch of shapes and putting in a lot of details. So make sure you are coloring every little piece one at a time and taking your time and doing your very best work, because it would be a shame to do all this work and then screw it up with really bad coloring or painting. So please enjoy yourself, be creative, and try your best. But most importantly, be patient, be kind to yourself, and, just have some fun.